Tanya Johnson, to be joined by Jennifer Collette uh, with a presentation on cross-collaborative relationships in higher education, bringing students from the Bronx together within a virtual community. Tanya?
Hi, my name is Tanya Johnson. I am presenting on behalf of myself as well as Professor Collette, teaching. How did we get here? Pre-pandemic, traditional college campus classrooms. So teaching in person. Um, we were teaching in person. Students had access to us. Technology was easily accessible for students. They were able to go to computer labs. They were able to borrow computers that we had in our lab. The enrollment was pretty consistent, um, better than they are now, of course. So what started to happen was that as the pre-pandemic, we were using a particular way of having our students deliver literacy. And once they realized that the number in New York City was students had less than 50% between grades 3 to 8 were failing in literacy. So we started to look on the college level. Jennifer Collette being at Lehman, the 4-year college, she's actually teaching students. So we're preparing students at the community college level to transfer into Lehman College, into their education program. So then we switched to HighFlex Classrooms in higher education. The HighFlex Classrooms of course, have a variety of teaching modalities. It can be in person. Students have the option of coming in person. They can Zoom in, which is synchronous, or it can be asynchronous, and students will just do the assignments that's listed on Blackboard. When we went to this particular format, this allowed us to be able to collaborate across campuses and have Lehman students as well as BCC students be in one cohort classroom together. So students had the option to be at either BCC in person, or they could Zoom in synchronously from anywhere. The purpose of us doing it this way was so that we could have that collaboration and make sure that we maintained the rigor in the courses that we were facilitating between BCC and Lehman College. So the EDU 16 and the ECE 304 are courses that at one time they were easily transferable. And then they changed the way that the New York State testing started to look. So then we had to make some adjustments in the courses in order to bring rigor into the reading and the writing process for our students, both on the community college level as well as the senior college level. Why did we get here? So New York City schools had fallen far below preparing all students to read. Less than 50% of all 3 to 8 grade students in New York City were proficient in reading. The pandemic made matters worse. Teachers teaching foundational courses in literacy for all content areas is necessary. So the New York State Ed required skills assessment had also had an increased failure amongst future teachers. And what happened with the New York State Ed assessment is that one of the tests that they have, ALST, was very heavy in literacy. And what they found is that so many students were failing the literacy exam. So they removed the literacy exam and they just replaced it with the regular EAS exam, the CST exam. So most students that would do a test like a literacy exam, it would be a content specialty test and just literacy. So students were failing the exam significantly on the Lehman College campus. So Lehman had to revamp their content and pedagogical practices in order for them to maintain their status as it relates to New York State Education Department. And the course ECE 304 became one of their classes between the minors and masters program that they have. So as we know, nationally, about 41% of American college students attend a community college. 30% of them will eventually transfer to a four-year college, and less than half earn a degree. So the transferability within sister colleges tend to be more challenging than they are in the private colleges. So repeating the course at senior colleges became very frustrating for the students. So the articulation agreements allow us to ensure seamless transfers for students, and with the hope that the retention and success rate would increase as they transfer from a community college to a senior college. So Professor Collette and I decided to teach this course because EDU 16 was not transferred equivalently to Lehman College's ECE 304. So students were getting over to Lehman College and having to repeat the course. That students came back, of course, and became very frustrated that they felt like they were taking the course over again and it was unfair to them. And they were looking at, they get frustrated and they decide, I don't want to do this anymore. And they either decide to transfer to another college that will take the course. So we decided that in order for us to be able to make sure that the course is equivalent and not transfer as an elective, that the only way that we could support and sustain rigor is to teach the course together and have both BCC students and Lehman students in the classroom, and to see how the success level would be with having both campuses as well as both student populations in the class together. Because we didn't want to risk rigor in the course by modifying it or watering it down for the community college level. And then when they get to Lehman College, because they still have to take the next course, which would be the ECE 305. So they would still need this baseline content in order for them to be able to go into their minor to master's program. So students were transferring so we're currently working on an articulation agreement. After the spring semester, once we have had the success or whatever we need to do to improve on this program as it relates to the ECE EDU 16 class, so that students will not just be wasting their time taking the EDU 16 at BCC and it not transferring as the ECE 304 at Lehman. So that's what we're currently working on with the articulation agreement, so that students will actually graduate from a senior college and those numbers can increase. So we just feel like collaborating across campuses is a valuable piece in the college community for our students. And we teach the class on Saturdays. We teach it from 12 to 2:45 every Saturday. And we've actually had a lot of progress, and we hope to be able to share that data soon in a publication.